Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters show. It's the 20th of January, 26.
Great to be here. And we have quite the agenda today. A bit of a wild mix, really.
I was just looking at the notes. We have corporate raids, a very strong message from the king. And are we really talking about a trade war over Greenland?
We are. I promise you I did not make that up. It's shaping up to be a strange year.
Okay, we have to get to Greenland. But let's start at home because things look pretty messy for IJM Corp.
Messy is putting it lightly. The MACC and the tax board, IRB, raided their offices. And look, a raid is never good news.
No.
But the timing here is just, wow. You'll remember Sunway just launched a takeover bid for them.
Right, so this just throws a massive wrench in the works for that deal.
A huge one. The share price immediately tanked. If you're a shareholder, you're now thinking, is this deal even going to happen? Or is the valuation about to get slashed? It's all uncertainty.
And it wasn't the only stock taking a beating. SMRT Holdings. What happened there? Market cap cut in half.
In half. It was a complete panic sell. This is really a classic case of relying too heavily on one big client. They lost their key revenue stream from Tenaga National.
And that was tied to the SCADA system deployment, right? For anyone not in the weeds, SCADA is basically the control system for things like the power grid.
Exactly, you've got it. It's the brain of the whole operation. So losing that contract was a massive, massive earnings shock. Investors hate surprises like that.
Okay, so on the flip side, we saw YTL Cement selling a piece of Malayan cement. Is that a sign of trouble or something else?
No, this is probably more about market mechanics. They sold a stake of just under 6% to increase the public spread.
Which means more shares are available for the public to trade.
Precisely. It boosts liquidity, makes the stock more attractive to the big institutional funds who need to be able to get in and out easily.
Speaking of big players, there are rumors swirling around Alliance Bank. Is Singapore's DBS really looking to buy in?
That's the word on the street. But the CEO, Kelly Kum, he came out and poured a lot of cold water on that. He's insisting they're focused on organic growth.
So growing the old-fashioned way, not by getting bought out.
Yep. It's a pretty bold statement of confidence in their own strategy.
And up in the air, a change at the top for AirAsia X.
A big one. Bollingham is the new group's CEO. This is really the final move to unify leadership after they acquired AirAsia and the aviation group. One person in charge of the whole consolidated airline.
Okay, before we move on, there was a flurry of activity with some of the smaller companies too. Can you give us the rapid-fire summary?
Sure. It was busy. Guanhua Tseng posted a nice profit just before its ACE market debut. JRK Holdings, the property developer, is also looking to list.
Contracts and openings?
Yep. Favel Favco secured $76 million in crane contracts. Iconic Group opened a new Marriott in Penang, trying to catch that tourism wave. And OpenSUSE won a 22 million ringgit order for cash recycling machines. Oh, and Reservoir Link got a contract for carbon capture review from Hibiscus. So yeah, lots of movement.
Okay, let's pivot to the national stage, because the king's address to Parliament, he did not hold back.
Not at all. Sultan Ibrahim was very clear. National interests come before state rights. But the line that made everyone stop was when he called corrupt officials traitors.
Traitor is an incredibly strong word to use.
It's as strong as it gets. And he specifically mentioned corruption within the armed forces, which is, a very serious allegation.
And that ties into another story, right? The leak from the Ministry of Defense.
It does. MINDEF had to lodge a police report because a list of senior officer postings got leaked. You just can't have that. It's a major breach of operational secrecy.
On the legal front, it seems like a chapter is closing for former PM Najib Razak.
Yes, the libel suit with former AG Tommy Thomas over the Alton Tuya murder has been settled. Thomas admitted there's no evidence linking Najib to it since his book was published. For Najib, this is purely about managing his reputation.
And we're also seeing stronger ties with East Malaysia.
We are. Singapore is setting up consulates in Sabah and Sarawak, and Air Borneo is planning new routes to the peninsula. All good things for connectivity.
Not all good news for local industry, though. The steel producers are feeling the pinch.
They really are. They're warning that the SST on raw materials, like scrap metal, is making it impossible to compete with cheaper imports.
Okay, let's go global, I have to ask. The US, the EU, and Greenland. What is happening?
I know it sounds like a joke, but the EU is seriously threatening tariffs on about 93 billion euros of U.S. goods.
And this is because of a dispute over buying Greenland.
Essentially, yes. It stems from the Trump administration's proposal and subsequent levies. So now we have the threat of a full-blown trade war over real estate.
And how did the markets react to this?
They freaked out. Bitcoin, which often trades like a risk asset, plunged below 92,000 US dollars. And on the other side, you saw gold and silver hit record highs.
The classic flight to safety.
Yeah, absolute classic. When things get this weird, investors run to precious metals.
So with all this chaos, what's the outlook for 2026? Is it all doom and gloom for Malaysia?
Well, it's a bit of a split decision. HSBC is pretty bearish. They see the ringgit weakening to 4.10. But SMBC and even the IMF are more optimistic.
Really? Why?
In a word, AI. The massive global investment boom in artificial intelligence is fueling demand for our tech exports. The hope is that this AI boom could be strong enough to offset some of this trade craziness.
So our economy is basically caught between an AI boom and geopolitical chaos.
That sums it up perfectly. It is definitely going to be a volatile year.
Oh, that is quite a deep dive to start the year. A lot to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Watch those tariff headlines that could change everything overnight.
Please subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.